A very good morning to you. It's Saturday, the 10th of February. Yes, it is. It was my daughter's birthday 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Amy. Don't know why I said that, because she never watches. But we've been at Atherstone for 8 days, and we've loved it in the shadow of the hat factory there. But more on that in a minute. But we've had a lovely stay here. Had a nice walk yesterday. Loads of daffodils out at the top lock there. They look lovely. A sign of better weather around the corner. And also that lock cottage there at the top lock, I just thought I'd point it out. Beautiful, large property, and it's up for sale. 180,000 would buy you that property. That's what it's on the market for. But spoke to a couple of people here, and they have local knowledge. They have had it surveyed, and it needs about £40,000 spending on it. It needs part of a new roof and little bits and bobs. But there's a lot of land to it, and it's a big house. That seems a lot of property for that money. So I just thought I'd point it out. A little bit more about our stay when we get going. We're just finishing a load of washing, and then we're off. We're off.
We're off.
Again. As I said earlier, we've enjoyed our stop here in Atherstone, and we moored up on the first night. When we got here, it was dark and there was a tap on the window, and we were very, very pleased to get Nicky there. Very pleased to see it was Trev from Trev's Travels by Narrowboat. What a lovely fella.
He was really nice.
Really nice. He had a bag of chips, so we didn't talk for too long. Yeah, it was really nice to meet him, but the next morning we heard a boat coming, and it sounded very, very familiar. And when we saw the front of it, the roof was covered in wood. We knew it was Trev, and he was on his way to the services and then on his way down the lock flight. So we said we'd offer, and yeah, we helped him through 5 locks. Yeah.
Was it 5? Yeah,
I think it was 5 down to the large pound. We had a lovely chat with him. He also made us a cup of coffee, and that was really nice.
It was very nice.
I don't normally like posh coffee.
You did like this posh coffee?
I did like that posh coffee. He makes a good cup of coffee, does Trev. And trust me, he is such a happy, cheerful.
Yeah, I wish we could have spent more time with him, really.
Unfortunately, he did have an appointment. He had something on him, Faisley, so he couldn't stay. But next time, Trev, we're going to have a drink with you and sit and have a nice chat.
Yeah.
He was a lovely man.
It's pretty, the ivy.
I know, all grows. They are nice. I like that P51 Mustang.
They're brilliant, aren't they? Look at the little Roadrunner.
Thank you. Now Nicky would love that. That would make a great greenhouse, yes. And another highlight of our stop here was meeting our good old friends Ian and Carol. We went to Red Lion?
Yes, it was.
I think it was called the Red Lion in town. And you know what? It's totally different inside than it is outside. Inside was absolutely very posh. Really, really nice. But it wasn't posh prices. We just had ham, egg and chips. It was absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, we saw Ian and Carol. Really nice to see them. They couldn't stay too long because they were going out with Alan and Sally that night. But it was great. We got some nice photos and made some new memories. It was great to see those guys. But before long, we had to say ta-ra. But we'll see them again because we're heading that way anyway. So we'll see you again soon. Well, I'm lying actually. It's going to be ages.
It'll be a while, but we will see them.
We will. Atherstone was built on hat manufacturing. There's a lovely little tree protector or sculpture just as you come through the first bridge there at the top of the lock. So it's got lovely little hats on each corner, and it's in the shadow of the old Wilson and Stafford hat factory. Now, the other day I went for a little walk, and Nicky and I want to share a little bit of information about the factory and a little bit of history. here it is. I hope you enjoy it. This impressive building behind me is Britania Works. It was built in 1828 and back then it was home to several companies. But in 1871 a gentleman called Richard Stafford moved his little hat business into the Britania Works, and in 1896 his little company became a big company and he took over the whole of the works. I'm stood by the old entrance here to Wilson and Stafford, the hat manufacturer. It must have been really impressive back in the day, but sadly they made their money out of the slave trade. They were actually hat manufacturers for the slaves that worked on the plantations. The slave owners were obliged by law to supply hats for the plantation workers. They're commonly known as billycock hats, or you may know them as bowler hats. There were many variations, many made out of wool and felt. But with the abolishment of slavery in 1865, Wilson and Stafford had a little problem. How on earth were they going to continue? Luckily, fashions changed and Wilson and Stafford survived. And then with the outbreak of the Great War and World War II, they got the contract to build military hats. They made military hats for the men and the women troops. During the war years though, employers had to ensure their employees' safety. So they bricked up the cellar and they became the air raid shelters here. These derelict rooms and walls that you see behind me here were the old packing rooms. The gents was packed downstairs and the ladies' hats were packed upstairs. In the 1960s, hats became very in vogue and Wilson and Stafford were at the top of the game. Listen to Mary Thurman's lovely little story about a little window that used to be here by the bridge.
I worked at Wilson and Stafford's for nearly 20 years. I worked in the settling shop, rolling the felt up and putting in the water. Then I moved from there to where they cut the brims of the hats. Then onto the box shop. This is where we put stitches into cardboard boxes for packing the hats. We used to sit up by the end window, and I saw this man and he heard the wolf whistles. The photo was me in the window and my now husband of 60 years.
Sadly now, the lover's window that used to be up there has been bricked up now. But what a marvellous story. This hat factory must have had families. It must have changed lives. It was one of over a dozen hat factories at the height of the hat manufacturing here in Atherstone. And Atherstone is still known as the Hatter's Town. Sadly, Wilson and Stafford were the last remaining hat manufacturer here in Atherstone, but they closed their doors in 1999. There are plans to actually get the building demolished and keep the fascia wall that's on the high street, or part of it, but it could cost as much as £500,000 to preserve that, so it's very doubtful they will. I don't think it's going to be that long and we're going to see another new housing estate here on this site. Who knows? Keep your fingers crossed. I do hope that you've enjoyed our little trip back of history at Wilson and Stafford Hat Factory here in Atherstone. Nikki and I both feel it very, very important to share history. We should always look back and learn from it. Take care. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and we did look a little bit of research. Well, Nikki did a little bit of research. Sadly, very sadly, Mary isn't with us anymore. But Fred did leave a little quote that meeting Mary outside the hat factory was the best day of his life. Apparently he worked in a garage right near the side of the canal there, and they used to test for punctures in the inner tubes. In the canal, they used to put the inner tubes in the canal, and it was there that Mary noticed Fred, sorry, I've got a tree down I think in front here, noticed Fred testing one of these inner tubes, and that's where she gave him the wolf whistle. What a lovely story. And here's the tree. All this wet weather, there has been a lot of landslides and trees falling. Now, those viewers that know will know that we're going to Crick this year, and Crick's at the end of May. But we are on our way now to go up the Ashby Canal, and we were going to be meeting two friends of ours, Wayne and Amanda, on Narrowboat Spudley. They have got a YouTube channel. There's a link below. Please check them out. But Wayne went out and did a short vlog on a landslide near Brinklow, in Brinklow Cutting, I think. Wasn't it, darling? Brinklow? I think it's Brinklow. Just past Brinklow Visitor Moorings anyway, in between there and the marina. And Wayne went out and did a little bit of a vlog, and as I say, there's a link to that below. It's a major landslide. Now, we've got all the time in the world, but unfortunately now we can't meet Wayne and Amanda because they're based the other side of the landslide. They're not going to get through anytime soon. That's sad. Who knows, they might be able to come in the car. But check out the vlog. We're not too worried. We have got plenty of time. We're not going to rush up the Ashby or any... We're not rushing anyway. We don't rush. So, yeah, check out their vlog and have a look. Now we've done a couple of loads of washing this morning, so we're on our way to Hartshill Yard. It's an old maintenance yard. It's gorgeous, and we'll show you when we get there. We're gonna top up with water and then get on to our mooring for the evening.
See the lovely doggy in the front of the
Is there a dog?
Look at him peeping over the side.
There's the doggy.
Yes.
Look at him. Thank you. How you doing, mate? Hello, you. As you can see, we're moored up towpath side here, but there's the beautiful Hartshill maintenance yard. Now we've got here, and there's a gentleman on a boat, he's just started his water. We've got another load of washing on. Yes, we do need to do a lot of washing. And then when he's done, we're going to move over and then hopefully have a little bit more, well, a bit of a closer look perhaps at the yard. It's lovely. So here we are, we're part watered. The washing machine hasn't finished yet, so when it finishes we'll top up to the top. But look at these wonderful buildings here at Hartshill. That was obviously a dry dock at one time, and it was open, and the boats used to go in, obviously drain the water away, and that was a dry dock. But it's been bricked up now. I'm not sure if there was warehouses or what the story is, but isn't it interesting, this place? I love it. So we're done. Nikki's brought me a lovely lemon tea. These buildings, you can see Nikki looking. Nikki's exactly the same as me with these old buildings. Absolutely love them. And I know I sound intelligent on the vlogs.
Yes, you do, love.
And it's mainly down to Nikki. Nikki likes doing her research. And the history of this place, we cannot really find anything. The plaque there for what we think is a dry dock was dated 1892, I
That's
think.
what you said, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that was a dry dock at one point. But the buildings here are lovely. And that building there, which was the dry dock, when we go under the bridge here, if I remember rightly, it's got a funny shaped roof. And we'll video that. We're ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Ready to go, yeah. Yep.
We're going there. What a beautiful place. Nikki and myself are just blown away with this. We've never used the water facility there. We've only ever cruised past, so we've enjoyed it. Just coming through the bridge now after the water point. Let's see if I can pick out that roof. Can you see the roof? How different it is at the end there. Yeah. Now that's a cutie too. We've got an idea where we want to moor up, but the clouds in front of us are black. Supposed to be staying dry today. Looking forward to mooring up though, because Nikki's gonna make a beef pie. A beef? She's gonna make a beef pie, so I'm looking forward to smelling that. We had a lovely sausage casserole last night. Gorgeous. We all scoffed that. I had 2 LPs. That was really nice. But a beef pie today?
If you're lucky.
Started to rain. Horrible.
Not supposed to be raining today.
No, it's supposed to be dry. And when canal boats, barges were used to carry goods, this was one of the old, what was it, gravel loading
Stone.
wharf. Stone from one of the local quarries. The working boats used to moor up here and load up with stone. Those clouds aren't looking good at all. The main cargo was roadstone, obviously to make the roads, and there's several of those all the way around this network. Yeah, there's little hints to railway bridges and things that have gone by. As you can see, we're all moored up. Springwood Haven Marina. We've just gone past there. We're only a couple of minutes past there. Lots of Armco here for mooring. It's a very popular mooring. But as you can see, the towpath isn't that bad. We keep thinking of the doggies. We've got to let the dogs off. And some of the towpaths around here are in a bit of a mess. And the dogs take the mess into the boat, even though we wipe their feet. So we wanted to moor up a little bit further on. Just around that corner there's a beautiful mooring and we loved it. We've stayed there one summer and the kids had fun playing in the woods, but it's not really the weather for playing in the woods, really. So it might be a bit muddy round there. So we've decided to come here. Towpath isn't too bad for the dogs. Hope you enjoyed our little trip. Take care.